Welcome guys. If you are not able to give extended explanation in your speaking test, do watch this video and achieve 7 plus in your speaking test. What's your full name?
My name's Sukhvinder Kaur.
Okay, let's talk about clothes. Are clothes important to you?
Apparels indeed are quite important for me because with the help of different clothings, we carry ourselves and it gives us confidence to show our personality to the other people.
What kind of clothes do you usually wear?
I love to wear formals on certain occasions, but in my daily life, I wear casual clothes because casual clothes are easy to wear and we can roam around with great ease.
Do you ever wear the traditional clothes of your country?
Sometimes it depends. If I have gone to some hill station or some other place to hang out with my family or friends, there if I would come across the traditional clothes, then more often I would wear traditional clothes. For example, most recently I've been to Dharamshala, which is quite a renowned place in Himachal Pradesh, and there I underwent a beautiful designer uh, clothing of their culture, which represents not only the cultural and the traditional ethics, but as well as it's quite beautiful.
Where do you usually buy your clothes?
I have to say that online and offline shopping is my both my favorite pastimes because I love to buy clothes for like twice a year. Maybe I would simply search on certain apps where certain offs are going on different brands. Then I would go for online shopping. For example, renowned brands like Zara and other Tommy Hilfiger, they give huge amount of offs on their flats collection, so I would go for online shopping majority of the times.
Let's talk about friends. How often do you go out with friends?
I love to go with my friends more often in my daily routine because my ongoing schedules are quite busy as I am work oriented. So majority of the weekdays are quite busy, but on the weekends I prefer to hang out with my friends in order to go out for to dine with each other and trying different cuisines and maybe to go to some traveling places as well.
Tell me about your best friend at school.
I would say that I was not having much good friend circle in my early school days, but yes, I do have a very good friend. But that I made in my college and university time because in the older times when we used to be small children, then we didn't have much sense of making good friends, and we didn't know what a good friend actually means or not. But indeed, after passing the school time, while entering into the graduation and post graduation, did come to know about the relevance of a good friend, and that best friend is still with me on date.
Which is more important to you, friends or family?
Both have a pivotal importance to anybody's life because friends play a different kind of importance in one's life and family has a different kind. So I would say that at certain times there are certain issues that we cannot share with the family, and in those particular times our friends do help us off in sorting out such things. But at the same time there are certain issues which only family could come up and solve and try to resolve those problems with us. So I think both have different kind of importances in our life.
Okay, that is the end of part 1. Part 2, cue card. You will have to talk about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. You can make some notes to help if you wish. Your cue card is describe a writer you would like to meet. You should say who the writer is, what you know about this writer already, what you would like to find out about him or her, and explain why you would like to meet this writer. You have 1 minute to prepare, then you have to speak for 2 minutes. Start.
Writers play a very important role in our society, because these are certain kind of artists who are blessed with a certain creation like writing. So I would love to mention about the writer who has a great influence on my mind, and whose readings have motivated me in my life in a huge way. The writer's name is Rabindranath Tagore. So I have read mostly a lot of books since my childhood when I was quite small, and there are certain creations and writings of Rabindranath Tagore who have influenced us in a huge amount of way. For example, the national song of our India is quite renowned creation of Mr. Rabindranath Tagore, and while learning and the inspirations which he gave us uh, through his creations are ultimate, because by reading his creations one can simply outperform ourselves through greater means. So he is such a renowned artist, I would say, because according to me, anything, any creation that God has gifted to somebody, may it be writing or other kind of skills, are hugely, they play an important role in shaping up one's personality, and as well as because through such creativity and such creative emotions, one can uh, upcome and shape our personality of our own self, and also try to implement to the other people, so that other people can also be influenced by listening or reading certain person's writings. So for the very first time, when I was not much a minor, I when I was in my standard 8, we used to, as I was much into reading English novels and English writings. So there I came across certain writings of Mr. Rabindranath Tagore ji, and where I came to know that he was actually splendid in showing his emotions towards the society, where people were overwhelmed by the way he used to write things in the
Thank
normal
you.
lives.
That is the end of part 2. Part 3, abstract talk, in which I will ask you some follow-up questions. So my first question: what kinds of book are most popular with children in your country?
There are certain kinds of books that are quite interestingly being read by the minors in my nation, because uh, the education system of the children, right from the smaller age to up to their teenaging, they are bounded to read, or they have certain part of curriculums where reading books are quite famous. So definitely literature based books, adventurous books, some comic books are quite interestingly uh, being read by the certain children, because with the help of reading certain literature books, they come to know about their culture, and with the help of reading their culture, they are almost, they get attached towards their backgrounds. So this is also illustrated in one of the examples in the recent surveys, where it claimed, where the specialized experts, they claimed that by reading uh, literature books, be it in any language, may it be English, Punjabi, or any other language, because that represents the culture and roots of the basic background. So, by reading those, majority of the Indian children, they come to know about their roots.
Why do you think some children do not read books very often?
Uh, if we talk about today's scenario is completely changed. For example, the ongoing COVID situation has almost distorted the children's mindset, because prior to these conditions, when children were in their normal routine of going to the school, and they were so into studies that they sometimes, if they're home, their parents used to remind them of studying, and they used to follow a certain schedules by going to the school and then followed by the tuitions. So they were in a regular routine to follow things. But this particular time of COVID has changed the mindset of the ongoing children, where they have almost stopped their mind of reading skills and other things, because just by simply sitting back home, they are always busy on their smartphones by either playing games or chatting around with their friends. So I think this is probably the only reason of this decline.
How do you think children can be encouraged to read often?
Minors can always be motivated to read more or to come up to grow their skills by with the help of their mentors, with the help of their parents, according to my perception, because parents are the only persons who stay with children majority of the time in their lives, who almost help them to come up and share the goods and the bads with them. So if they follow certain kind of bad issues in their life, so parents do support them in and try to show them the right direction to follow whatever they want to do there in life. So I think according, and this is in the recent survey, this is also claimed by one of the study experts, where they mentioned that majority of the Indian juveniles, they uh, come up with the reading skills with the total benefit of their parents if they are staying with them up to the age 15.
Okay, my last question. Do you think that reading novels is more interesting than reading factual books?
Both have their own kind of importances, because by reading novels we come to know the overall background of the author, what he has in his mind, what the issues which are simply in their mind they try to depict in such kind of novels. They can be related to their childhood, their teenaging, their adulthood, their uh, proper youth. So they try to depict each and every part in certain kind of novels, because by reading novels we can overall enhance our knowledge about the typical things that were happening in the authors and try to implement in our lives. But as compared to the factual books are the books which simply depicts the facts or the reality of the life. They do not have anything to come up with the normal ongoings, or writer only depicts the whatever is right for the person should always come up with their experiences and try the people to simply uh, come up with their own life facts to implement in their life, so that they can enjoy a better healthy being.
Okay, thank you. That is the end of your speaking test. Okay, guys, if you like this video, do subscribe my channel, Ayush Jonti.